Hi, this is take 2 of this video because I tried to record this on my lunch break, but the people building on our house got back from theirs and the background sound got very loud very quickly. So let's do it now instead, even though we have not a lot of light left. We do have some light peeking through here. But look, let's get to it. So if we start with the kids' garden, the sunflowers are almost done, and you can see that we haven't really had a hard frost yet because the peppers are still alive and kicking. We have a couple of peppers left to pick, and the physalis is doing great. We might have some carrots here. They had a rough start, so you never know. Yeah, might be something here. I'll let the kids check later on. So in here I obviously need to cut the grass and clear up this fence. I am going to use, and clear out the boxes as well. I am going to use some of the leftover wood from our build to make a little patio for the kids in here, since their furniture keeps turning over. The yellow raspberry just outside the garden is doing surprisingly well, considering it's been chewed down by deer a couple of times. The sunflowers along the fence are almost done. This is the box I dubbed the weed heaviest bed in our garden. My attempt to suffocate it with compost, really warm compost, did not succeed, so I need to clear this and put some tarp or something over it. Another sign that we have not yet had a hard frost, even though we have been very close at night, is that the squash plants are still alive and somewhat thriving, I'd say. I have a couple of small artichokes left. If that was the weed heaviest bed, then I dubbed this the second weed heaviest bed, or if that's even grammatically a sentence. This one is rough as well, so once I've cleared this one out, I'm gonna put something on top as well to help suffocate the weeds. After clearing, of course. Asparagus is doing its thing. Rhubarb has done really well with the transfer from the boxes up by the house. Strawberry cage needs a good clearing. You can't even see that there is a small walkway in here, and I have a couple of plants and actually trees going in there. They shouldn't be there, so there's going to be some clearing here as well. My raspberry plants are doing great, actually, even though they've been chewed on quite a bit. So I actually had a couple of handfuls, even though the plants are completely new for the year. Now I am doing something here that will disrupt the raspberries quite a lot. Since we are exchanging the windows on our house, I'm building a tiny greenhouse out of them, the old ones that is. And I plan to put it up here where you see I've put the boards down. But the ground is really uneven, and the biggest issue isn't really the uneven ground, but rather that there is no natural way to enter the greenhouse that feels natural or nice, because this would be a high ledge to compensate for the height difference, and it would just feel weird to walk into it this way. So what I've decided on is putting the greenhouse where the raspberries are. Let me show you. Then I could walk out through this walkway here and have the entrance here. And this greenhouse would actually be just inside the rules, Swedish rules for building, which is 4.5 meters from your property line. So I'm gonna move them, probably in some fashion, over here, because I still have a lot of unused space here. So I will be building 2 boxes here, 1 square meter each, so that I can actually show how much food you can grow in one on a square meters and not just an offcut of a box, because that's not really a fair comparison. So that's what's coming up for this area. Some moving of plants and building of a greenhouse and 2 boxes. I have harvested a lot of potatoes, both here, in this one, there, well, all of these. I now have some spinach here and some sweet peas in those. As you can see, I also have a lot of things that needs to be thrown in the compost or just stored somewhere, the kids' furniture. So I need to do some weeding here as well. And I have some potatoes to dig up here. And for these 2 boxes, I also need to add the second story to them. These are still actually producing, which is insane. I actually let them go a while back because I thought I'd try to use just the beans inside. Because I already have, I think, 15 kilos in the freezer. But they just keep producing, which is madness. And same here. They were slowing down in production, so I thought, okay, you can grow big, so I can just pick the beans inside. But they just keep going anyway. So this is 2 varieties that I will definitely grow next year as well. Physalis is trying to take over this entire walkway. I thought I'd had plenty of space here, but apparently not. You can start to see some yellow leaves, and I've been picking the ripe ones. I think this one is probably gonna die with the first frost, so I'm trying to stay on top of it. Here's my very stubborn sweet potato. I will be harvesting that any day now. But there, I mean, look. That's a sweet potato. It's amazing to me because there's very little soil here, like this much. My herbs are doing good. Surprisingly good because it's quite cold now. I've started to clear here a bit to prepare for winter. These boxes are supposed to be raised up as well, so that's on my list of future projects. Yeah, more potatoes. I have some peas in the middle. I was optimistic planting a tall variety. I should not have planted tall variety because it did not have time to grow. I've cleared out the greenhouse. I have potatoes to dig up in this bed and in this bed. I actually had some germination of the carrots over here, but now I can guarantee you we have way too little sun in this part of the garden. I've cleared most of this one. You can see it's only weeds left, nothing edible left. So there's a lot of clearing. I still have beets to harvest in these 3. And I have physalis here as well. And then I'm waiting for my beans. So these are the dry varieties. So I have harvested some already. Here we have one that's quite dry, so I'll show you. So this is what they... Let's see if we can get the camera to... This is what they look like. So I'm just waiting for them to dry a bit more so I can harvest them. You can see some have started to dry here, so it's time to do another round of picking. There's a lot of cleaning ahead. Clearing of walkways, picking up pots, collecting garden hoses, adding levels to boxes, building new boxes, weeding boxes, maybe find the energy to build that door. And then of course I had to do the fencing for the chickens and finish up the coop so that they can live here. What you can see laying here is something that was at the front of our house that we pulled up now that we are renovating. I also have about 3 or 4 batches of grass clippings from my neighbor because I have not had time to put them in my garden. And I need to fix this table as well. So I kind of enjoy this time of year. Springtime is nice because it's new and you get sun and light and growing, and you have a million little plants you need to put in your garden and tend to. And summer is lovely because it's warm and because you can see the fruits of your labor. You get a million beans to harvest. But autumn is something else, because that's when you kind of get a chance to collect your thoughts, do some kind of evaluation of your growing season, and also clean up and prepare for next season. I don't know if it's weird, but I kind of love that part, the cleaning up and preparing for next. I don't know why. So that's what my garden looks like right now. This is a very raw, very honest, very messy truth about what my garden looks like. And hopefully next time I show you my garden in November, I will have actually cleaned up a bit. We'll see. Until then, have a great week.